Gemini man and Cancer woman. Oh God. Today. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not do that. That's actually worse than Gemini and Scorpio, because at least Scorpio is like tough skin, but Cancer is not tough skin. Cancer acts like they're tough skin. I'm not saying Cancer can't like take a punch. Not that I want Cancer to be punched, but you know what I mean. But Cancer is deeply sensitive. Like Scorpio is deeply sensitive, but Cancer is like emotionally sensitive, if that makes sense. Scorpio is more sensitive about like things that have hurt them. Cancer is more sensitive about like their feelings in general. Like that's why they cry so easily, is because they feel things very deeply, and they're welcome feelings too. Like Scorpio has like a wall that keeps some things out, but Cancer doesn't have a wall, so everything comes in. A Gemini man is gonna leave a Cancer woman in shreds, like emotional shreds. Like if you want a man to destroy your self-esteem and drive you insane so you end up in the ER at the same time, did a Gemini man. Like no, that is the worst coupling I can think of. He's just gonna verbally abuse you without trying to. He's just being himself, he's being funny, and he's having a good time, but you're gonna take it so personally, and you're gonna get offended. You're going to get offended, because that's what Cancer does. Cancer gets offended very easily. It doesn't take much to get under Cancer's skin. And Gemini knows how to get under someone's skin. And when they get bored, that's their favorite pastime. Mind games? Yeah, they love them. They love mind games. They just like to see like if they can get a rise out of you. Because they get bored. They have to have fun. They just like to have fun. They're not trying to be mean. Like Gemini gets a bad rap a lot of times, but they're not trying to be mean people. They're not bad people. Gemini just gets bored, okay? Gemini is like a 7-year-old. Like, I'm bored. I have to have something to do. So, you're around, I'm around, so I'm just gonna fuck with you. See what happens. And it's not that deep. It's not that serious. I'm just telling a few jokes just to see what lands and what doesn't. And I'm just making notes. That way, when I get really mad at you and I'm ready to actually deploy all of my weapons, I know exactly where to hit you, which is where it hurts, because I've been doing my homework. Gemini is just a child, and Cancer is like a mother, so it's definitely going to be giving mother and child vibe. Like, do you really want to be dating a child? Like, come on. That's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be fucking with you, and you're not gonna like it, because you're not going to get the joke. They're just going to be trying to have a good time, but you're going to see it as like you being assaulted. So it's not going to work ultimately because of that. So that's why I don't recommend that coupling. Cancer would cry first. Yeah, Cancer would cry, but then Cancer would start fighting back. But then it's going to get toxic, because Gemini is never going to get discouraged. Gemini is not going to let you have the last word. They're not. Gemini is not going to let you have the last word. Why? That's not fun. They like to have fun. They got to see it all the way through, my guy. Got to see this fun ride all the way through. It's not going to let you have the last word. No, they're going to keep it going. Keep it going. Let's keep it going. It's more fun that way. They just, especially when they don't have anything to keep them occupied, they can become so destructive. But again, the difference between Gemini and some of these other signs is that Gemini is not actually doing this to be mean-spirited. Like, as much of a bad rap as they get, they're actually not mean-spirited people. They're not actually trying to, like, get you, like, psychologically damaged. That's what they're doing. Make no doubt about it. They will leave you in psychological shreds. Yes, they will leave you twitching in the corner with a clot over yourself, wondering where you went wrong in life. They will. Yes. Wondering who you are, your whole identity. Your life will be fucked when you're done with them. Yes, it will be. I promise you. Yes, you will have PTSD when it's over. Yes. I promise you, the side of PTSD and trauma is going to be served with a Gemini romance with a Cancer. Yes, absolutely. But that's not actually their intent. They didn't set out to give you PTSD. They were just having a good time. They just didn't realize you couldn't handle it. That's what happened. That's basically what happened. So, stay away. Cancer and Gemini, don't do it. Just protect your heart. Scorpio and Gemini. Gemini talks too much, and Scorpio doesn't talk enough. So, no. These two are going to get on each other's nerves eventually. And Scorpio is also very private. Scorpio is very secretive. Gemini does not know what privacy sounds like. Gemini will be the type to, like, tell all of Scorpio's secrets without even trying to do that. And then Scorpio finding out and being very upset about it. Because Scorpio told you they didn't want you to tell other people. I don't like these two together. Gemini is very playful, and they like to tease as a form of play. And Scorpio is very sensitive and sometimes insecure. I don't know that they're going to be able to handle Gemini's sense of humor. They might take some things personally that Gemini didn't mean for them to take personally, and yeah, that might be an issue for them as far as like them feeling safe emotionally in the relationship. Basically, Gemini needs somebody that is a lot lighter, someone that likes to have fun, and someone that's adventurous and that's outgoing, and someone that isn't so serious. Scorpio is very serious. They take everything very seriously, and their energy is kind of dark, and Gemini's energy is very light. So I think eventually they're going to suck the life out of Gemini, and Gemini is going to need to run away to the next person, because that's what Gemini does when they get bored. I don't recommend that for that reason. Sagittarius women and Capricorn men, that's actually a relationship I can get behind. Even though those two are not like a typical match, I can get behind it if they're willing to be honest. Sagittarius loves being honest, so I think that would work. And Capricorn also loves honesty. They don't like bullshit. So if they're willing to put in the work to be real with each other, I think this can be an area of deep growth and personal self-development. Because Capricorn is going to teach Sagittarius how to stick to something and see it through, which is something Sagittarius does not know how to do. They like to switch it up every 5 minutes. And then Sagittarius is going to teach Capricorn how to have a good time. Because Capricorn, like Scorpio, is very serious. They don't know how to have fun. They need to be taught how to have fun, how to relax, how to not be so deep and so dark all the time. So I find that these two actually bring the best out of each other. It's been my experience. So I can definitely get behind those two. Sagittarius and Scorpio, that's another mix that I think is a mismatch, because those two, again, Scorpio has a deep need for control. Sagittarius cannot be controlled, so that's already out. And in addition, Scorpio also has a lot of insecurities, and Sagittarius likes to test boundaries. So that's going to be a trigger. The other thing is Scorpio is very negative and dark, and Sagittarius is very optimistic and happy. So again, the mood here is going to be a mismatch. It's much like Gemini and Scorpio. Gemini does better with Sagittarius for that reason, because they're a lot more similar. Scorpio's energy is too heavy and too dark for Sagittarius. I think eventually that's gonna wear thin on both of them. Scorpio is deeply committed to, and Sagittarius is very like, take it or leave it. They're very like, very like nonchalant. So I think that also is going to be like a negative part of that partnership. Sag man and Aries woman. Oh, finally somebody gives me a coupling I can get behind. Y'all have been depressing me with these matches. All of them have been like, whoa, this is a great couple. Do it. Do it more and do it again. These two are perfect for each other. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Can't think of a more perfect pairing. Nobody's more perfect for Sagittarius than Aries, and vice versa. Perfect in every way. They'll get along great. They know how to have a good time. They have a lot of passion. They love each other. They're committed. It's never going to get dull or boring. These two are going to run off the fucking cliff together. That's the only thing with these two. You got to watch them, because they do too much sometimes. Because there's no water. There's no like slowing it down. There's no breaks. They're both fiery. So it's like passion all the time, like high passion, which can be a lot of fun for the two of them. They get each other. They get each other's temperament. They love adventure. They love travel. They tell each other the truth. They don't beat around the bush. Nobody's sensitive around these parts. They're just like shoot it straight, and either you like it or you don't. It is what it is. So, which I think is good, because in relationships, there's going to be problems. Relationships are going to have problems. That's just life. Those of you that go in relationships thinking it's going to be perfect all the time and you're not going to have problems, you are delusional, okay? Get your heads out the clouds. Take those rose-colored glasses off. I don't know what you thought happily ever after was, but happily ever after involves some work, okay? If you want to be happy ever after, you got to work on it. And that means you're going to have disagreements. They're going to do shit you don't like. They're going to get under your skin. And you're going to have to use your words to express what you feel if you think the relationship is worth it. These two are going to give it to each other straight. If they don't like something, they're not going to like let it fester for years. They're just going to shoot it out. They're going to have their big explosive moment, and then they're going to move the fuck on. And they also have like a high sex drive, those two. So it's a good fit in that regard too, because when they're done with the arguing, they can just work that out physically and then move on with their day. So I think they need a lot of passion, and they each have it to give to each other. So this is actually one couple I can get behind. Thank you for that question, bringing some positivity up in here. You can book your astrology reading at intuitivehealing.com. You can also watch videos at Intuitive Healing here on YouTube for Astrology 101 content. Listen to the Aquarius podcast on Spotify, as well as here on YouTube for your horoscope. If you're interested in astrology and love connections, you can visit at Styled Under Libra. And of course, for health and wellness and holistic healing, visit at Styled Under Virgo